Welcome to the stage, Rheid Schloss, everybody.
When people find out that I'm a solutions engineer for SAP HANA, they immediately start asking questions. And when they find out that I'm about storage, I get the questions even more. Because it's like, well, storage with SAP HANA, isn't that all in memory? Yes. However, yesterday I was having lunch out in the foyer out here, and a couple of guys, they cornered me and they started asking me questions about the storage. And they said, well, which storage should I use? That's kind of a tough question. We have 4 offerings, and all 4 of those are TDI certified. Trying to find an analogy for this so that I could talk to people about it, I decided maybe there is something out there. In 2016, 32 men were swimming at the Olympics, the 4x100 medley. I don't know if you remember that, but these are the 4 guys that won. Now, all 4 of those, they can swim all of the strokes, but they didn't. They focused on one. And that's kind of cool, but which one would you eliminate here from that medley team? Well, that's kind of how I feel with the storage offerings that HPE has. Because when you look at them, it's clear that we have a flagship product for storage for SAP HANA. 3PAR is our flagship. It's the one that's out there. But you look at these other systems, tell you what, they do a great job as well. I've worked with all of those systems, and in particular the MSA 2052. I did a reference architecture with this little array. Wow, it's a screaming box. 8 nodes that it will handle. You can put this in a rack with some of our ProLiant DL560s. You've got a great setup for SAP HANA. Another is our nimble storage. This is one of those new players to our team. I can tell you this is a super box as well. If I was trying to set up a test and dev environment, I would be using an MSA or a nimble array. But if you've got a VMware set up with ESX clusters, then I would be using this nimble array with that, because you can take these and cluster them together and move those volumes around very easily. All of these arrays also have the capability of doing snapshots and remote copy to different arrays. But if you're really in a production state, you want to use the 3PAR storage array. I've done a reference architecture on this, doing a 9450 all-flash array. Tell you what, screaming box. This gives you the capability to actually have an NFS server tied into it, so you don't have to set up that whole NFS environment or an SMB environment as well. High availability, it's all built in. And if you've got something that's a non-stop, that's where you've got this XP7. This is where you get into that 7.9 or better configuration for uptime. When you take all of those great servers, add them to the rest of the team, man, you've got an Olympic team that's here, world performance that you can use anywhere. From whether it's using one of these ProLiant DL series, or actually the Superdome Flex. We just did a video on the Superdome Flex and pulled it apart, looked inside, under the covers. Tell you what, there's a reason why HP has used the Superdome Flex as their SAP HANA implementation. We took all of our SAP traditional configurations, started moving to S/4HANA. What we did is started with Superdome Flex, 4-core system, 6 terabytes. We just keep adding another Superdome Flex to that, 8 cores, 12 cores, 16 cores. That's where you want to, if you're really scaling in a production environment, great option for you to add to that SAP environment. Also add that data protection that HP has tied into SAP HANA. using RMC as well as a Catalyst plugin. We've got you covered for backup as well. And we also have an infrastructure, so fiber channel director switches and edge switches you can use for that environment. This is the reason you see a graph like this. All of those things come together, and now you know why we have over 25,000 customers that are running SAP on their system. So before I conclude, any questions anyone has? If not, I know you're trying to figure out who's going to win this. I'll be here around the booth if you have any questions. Tomorrow is kind of our Meet the Expert Day, so if you have questions about your infrastructure, your storage, your server configurations, I'm a solution architect. I can do those things for you. We can actually do some drawings and have a discussion on that. Any questions? Great. Turn it back over to
All right. Well,
Thank you
so
very much.